Okay, before we get into saving games, we're going to talk about file structure a little bit to make it easier to store your saves. If you notice, I have an Atari directory with all the different emulators here, and we're going to, of course, go to the one for Lynx. Now, Inside's a little disorganized because I got a bunch of stuff I'm working on, but we're going to take a look here at the games folder first, and we're going to click and open that. And again, there they all are. You'll see that there's a bunch of zip files here, which you can play your games directly from a zip file that has the ROM image inside. But for saving games, you want to be able to find the save very easily without having to scroll through everything. You'll see this zip here. There's nothing there. If you're going anywhere else, I have a save directory, but I'm going to create a separate one for the game, Batman Begins. And you'll notice that my zip file and my saves are in the same directory. Now, it might be a little tedious, but at least for your favorite games, you might want to create a directory for it so your saves are not mixed-mashed in some other place. That you can find them right here in the main directory for that game. So I'm going to launch the Lynx app. Now it appears on my primary screen. This is my secondary screen here. So I'm going to drag this over there, and you'll see here this is the directory structure I talked about. We go into the Batman directory here, and we're going to go ahead and click on it to get to the game itself. And it'll load up. Now, of course, it's on the other green screen, so we drag it over here to take a look at it. Now, I didn't have my joystick turned on, so it's going to give me an error here. So I have to do this. I have to start up my joystick, have it sync with the system, and we can go back in again to use the joystick with the game. But I digress again. The problem with having joysticks or using the keyboard for a game and then having to save it, it takes a second or two to go ahead and stop what you're doing to do that. And a lot of times it's going to cause you a problem. So we're going to take a look at the keyboard here while we're playing the game so we can see one of the best ways to do it. Yet another tip here, you're going to want to be able to sort this by date modified. And the reason for that is your newest save, in other words, you're further along in the game, will be at the top. It'll be very easy to locate. So now here I am. I'm restored the game. I press the F5 key to unpause it, and here I go into the game and try and make my way through it. And you do things like this when you get to a place where you hit health like that. That's when you want to pause it, unlike what I did right here to save that progress. So that if you go further, you don't end up getting all the way down here and then finding out that you didn't save it when you should have, and what happens? You end up dying if you start all over again. So you want to make sure you do it at the appropriate time. Now, the main reason I went ahead and did this video is because this shows that the save and load are Control L and Control G. Well, I'm left-handed. They aren't easy to access these keys. Even if you're doing it right-handed, to do those, it's extremely difficult when you have a joystick in your hand or your keys are all over the keyboard. So there's an alternate way to do it, which makes it a lot simpler. There's a single keystroke you can use to go ahead and pause the game, so then you can manually click on the load and save. To give you a better example of something that you can see the progress on, I'm going to go to a different game. And what I have is the Atari 30th anniversary games that were published in 2019. Now I'm going to go one of the better ones. It's called Sky Raiders, like Star Raiders. Anyways, you go here, and I can bring up, you have to load the image first before you can restore the save point. It has to have a matching one. So now that we have that, we'll go over here, and we're going to load the save point. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go to this particular directory, and now you see I have them and sorted by last modified date, so that'll be the most progress will be on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's sorted by that and click on it, and it'll restore it. So here's the magic solution. If you look at the top, I have to press the F5 key to pause and start the game. That's all it takes. No control this, control that, because once you have the game paused, you can go ahead and load up or save as you need. In this particular case, I can see get killed over and over again. I have to redo it. So after playing this section a bazillion times, I actually got to where I wanted to save it again. And I go in here, and I know exactly the pattern, so I can get here. Oh, and I can save it again. Press the F5 key. Another important tip is that you want to right-click on this so it populates this box down there so you can change the file name to your current progress. Makes it easier to keep track of where you're at. So there you have it. The big secret is to press the F5 key to pause the game. That way it gives you enough time to click up on the menu and do your thing. Because Control-L, Control-G, at least in my experience, is not going to hack it. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want more, you can just click on subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook or Twitter. The links are in the description of the video.